Hey. Hey. Hello, 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 everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to Sussex Saturday. I hope you are all well. I'm VS Speaks Royally. I'm formerly known as Mrs. VS, but you know, everybody still lovingly calls me that. Okay, so I hope everybody is well. Sorry for the little interruption. How is everyone? We've had such a good week as Squad. You know, are you still full? I've lost count how many times I've watched a docuseries, so I'm just being upfront right now. Don't even ask me. And I still have the link, the window open to go back and watch once I finish the stream because I just love it. Especially when King Archie, you know, lays down the law to his mama. And it's the cutest little thing, but all right, so let me scroll through. Annie, Lydia, Church Nelly, Joan. Who else do I see here? Elaine. So far, those are the channel members that I see. I would ask that everyone just keep Hilda in your prayers. She had to take her son to the hospital yesterday, so, and all that she's been dealing with. So, prayerfully, everything is good with him. Hello, hello, hello to everyone else that I see in the chat. I'm going to get right in it so that we could get to trash time, your favorite part. I know you couldn't be so bothered with all the good stuff. You like to get to where we really dig into the meat of it all. So, first things first, disclaimer. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act, 1976, excuse me. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. My favorite quote that I like to read of Harry and Meghan: each of us can change our communities, all of us can change the world. And if you've been watching the docuseries, you will get how much more that quote is so meaningful. So, all right, so we have week in review. On Tuesday, Harry and Meghan were recipients of the RFK, so the Robert F. Kennedy Ripple Award. And I'm showing, excuse Kuja if you happen to hear her. Sit down. So I'm showing the NBC tweet because through the docuseries, you find out that NBC provided security to Meghan when the royal family would not. I'm just going to let that air of, and here goes Kuja to get ready to bark. So, yes, they were the recipients, one of the recipients and honoree of the Ripple of Hope Gala. You have the honorees and the winners or the recipients of the awards come to the awards ceremony. You don't let them zoom in. Okay, and you all understand what I'm talking about. I just had to get a little dig in. Okay. So, Meghan looked beautiful as always. Harry looked happy as always, regardless of what people say, the haters. And I just love that this candid moment was caught, in the docuseries. She did say that he was funny. So his personality is what captured, amongst many other things, I'm sure. Yeah, we're going to get to that. If you have not watched the docuseries yet, I'm not sure what you're waiting on, but I will tell you, fair warning, we will be discussing throughout. Again, although I did discuss on Thursday, Volume 1, which is the first 3 episodes, they did drop the trailer for Volume 2 that is going to be dropped. Episodes 4, 5, and 6 on the 15th, this coming Thursday. So come on now, don't sleep on this. Okay. So again, with the Ripple Award, here's another picture of Diana given to Harry, and it's just beautiful. And when folks know that you're genuine and that you truly loved your mom, they give you a little piece of her that he was probably young at the time when this picture was taken. So again, the Ripple Awards, thank you to all those who shared pictures, and Carrie Kennedy up there flashing her legs. She was in it. She was like, yes, I'm here. Okay. And then on Wednesday, we found out that Archetypes podcasts on Spotify. Now, if you haven't listened to those 12 episodes, I suggest you do so quickly for season 1, because we're speaking life into having many more, was the winner of the People's Choice Awards, the Pop Podcast of 2022. Yes, there's also, we had a special vlog for that live stream on Wednesday. So again, disclaimer. We're going to be discussing the docuseries. Okay, you've been warned. So to find out that their engagement story, that they, the day their engagement was announced, November 27th, 2017. They went out and they met with the press, photogs, if you want to say, because it was a lot of photographers there, a sea of them. And, snapping pictures, silly questions asked, my opinion, When did you know she was the one? Hopefully before he put the ring on it. I'm just gonna, okay. And, Harry answered the question. Then it was, how are you feeling, Meghan? Well, she was walking on cloud nine. Duh, she just got engaged. But okay. Like I said, stupid questions, but show us the ring. And, some had said to her, oh, this is probably what's going to happen. And then I didn't realize they immediately, when they walked back inside, they went right into their interview with the BBC correspondent, which I do not remember her name. But that was pretty much, the engagement story was scripted. Like the royal family didn't want anyone to know. I wonder why. Because then they can set the narrative. Okay. Let me. But anyway, we found out that Harry was the one that did the pursuing. So all you ones setting that narrative that Meghan was a gold digger, go F yourselves. I loved how it opened and they showed her that interview, the little fun interview she was doing in 2015, in October of 2015. And one of the questions was William or Harry. And she was like, I don't know. And then the person whispered, Harry. And she said, okay, Harry, which, he got a big chuckle out of that. Thankfully, she did say Harry's name. But yeah. And even provided receipts. See, they're coming with the receipts. So they're going to shut all this stuff down, all these false narratives. Which there's something in Trash Time that I'm going to show that a tabloid tried it and then had to quickly reverse. So this is the Snapchat filter. So I'm sharing this because Snapchat actually responded to this person. And they're saying, I will never get over the fact that Prince Harry saw a picture of Meghan Markle with the Snapchat dog filter on their mutual friend's Instagram story. And that's what got him to ask the friend for Meghan's number. And Snapchat responded in all caps, never. Like, they're never going to get over that either. I don't think any of us will either, but, we all smile. This is this rare, there was a lot of pain in Mama Doria's face and all that, but yeah. She pushed through and spoke, and I hope we see more of her in episodes 4, 5, or 6. I do. But yeah, I love how the production of this has just been awesome. Not that I would ever think it wouldn't be, but some had their doubts. Excuse me as I sip my hot tea. We must remember they are seeds, both of them. What didn't you do to bury me? Okay, Kuja, okay. But forgot that I was a seed. That's a poem or statement that is just, hey, that is just sticking with me throughout this because, yeah, they're telling their story and the royal family and their PR, which Harry stated is a PR branch of the royal family. All right, let me jump into comments. I see there's over 100 comments, and then we'll get to that favorite time because I've already mixed it all up and jumbled it, but I have to do the formal announcement of Trash Time. So let me take it off of this. Let me go up here. Let me go to there. Let me come back to comments. All right. Jumping into top comments, and you know how I do. I'm just going to scan, see if there's anything up at the top. Hello to everyone who has come in. Thank you for joining. Let's see. Sash trash like the Kennedys didn't give Peggy a number of the frame picture. Well, I mean, like I said, when you love your mom and you champion your mom, even in episode, I think it was 3, He said that Diana may have been tricked into doing the interview, but she spoke her truth. He never said anything derogatory as the firstborn did. So I'll just leave it at that. Okay, let me go through comments and I'm going to jump. Annie, I like the part where Harry went to Guy and asked isn't that sweet? And asked his permission to marry Meghan. Yeah. And I did see someone trying to say Harry was holding him up by the back of his neck because of his broken legs. Don't bring up the broken legs, derangers, because we want to know what happened to that dog. We do. I don't think they'll ever tell us. Another sip of hot tea. Okay. Harry and Meghan documentary #1 in Switzerland. Oh, yeah. Hey, Connie. Oh, yes. That's coming up in trash time, too. All right. Let me see. Elaine. The deep love connection of Harry and Meghan scares the hell out of the Windsors. Harry tells the truth about how all women that join the family are treated. Yes. And he even said, that many of them dismissed it and said, hey, our wives went through the same thing. But Harry added to it. But race is playing a part now. Just the overtones, as I like to say. It's not really undertones. We always like to say, oh, the undertone. No, it's out there. That's the overtones. They were setting the tone of how things would go. Straight out of Compton. Like Megan's saying, I'm not from there, but like, what's wrong with Compton? Like, why would you try to slam Compton if there's no racial spin to it? You would just say she's a Northern Cali girl. I guess you would have said that if she was blonde hair, blue eyed. Okay. Mm-hmm. Let me see. Elaine, Kate was ground into submission. Sisters don't play that. She stalked him for 10 years. She was just the last person standing. There was no grounding her into submission. She would have done whatever. And she did do whatever. Let's not forget the runway. Mm-hmm. Sherry Ware via speaks. Also, I think they scripted Meghan to say that Emeralds were very supportive and that they welcomed her into the family. It was all a lie. Very much so. Very much so, Sherry. As soon as it was dropped on us from themselves, from Harry and Meghan, that it was scripted, yeah. Because she said how the first meeting went, and they were very stiff and cold. Now, most of Americans, I'm one that I'm a hugger if I meet you, especially if I know your family, to whomever. Yeah, you're usually going to hug. So to know that there's all this curtsy and bowing and all that other stuff happening behind closed, give me a break, whatever. Lydia, I'm about to get on Snapchat and see if I can pull a Prince. And the funny thing is, Meghan was so floored, like, that's what caught your attention. Like, that's what caught your attention. Everybody and their mother, brother, sister, and everybody else was trying to find that, just so that they can figure out who it was. But yeah, I think the person's long since hopefully scrubbed, so that way that is not something that is easily identified, because they have not said specifically the name of the friend. And yeah, it's pretty cool to hear their side of it and not the narrative, which I'm not understanding why they cared. Well, I guess I do. They had to set the narrative that she was a gold digger, and that's not the case at all. Oh, she's from the wrong side of the tracks, honey. The one that will be consort one day. She just has the right pigment. And yeah, I said it. Okay. Let's see. Church in LA. Doria is so much nicer than I would have been. Well, still keeping in thought, she would, when you look at it, yes, I told you countless times I've watched, because I observe and I study and I absorb and I go back and what did I miss? She was on the verge of tears, and she was she was talking like to herself, like it's okay. Like you can do this, you can do this. She doesn't do interviews. So yeah, she was a little nervous. But yeah, on the brink of tears. And to hear her say how the last 5 years have been now, of course, Squad, we take things and we're like, we feel like we are family too. And we have done so much to truly stand up and say no more. So vindication for Squad, yes. And even with the Rhoda, who want to try to paint us in a bad light, not happening. Especially since everything we were saying and we had no knowledge has been backed up. So yeah. Hello to everyone. I see Cookies and Cream and the Nora the Stock Explorer. I have to say her name that way. Nora the Stock Explorer. Oh, Elaine, thank you for the 8 months of membership. I do hope that you are still enjoying yourself. And she is the resident UKer in a sense. I think Dave's Adventures is also in the UK. So I don't think I have anybody else that is in membership that's in the UK. I could be wrong. So correct me, but I'm not tracking locations like that. I just know Elaine is one that I will ask certain questions when it comes down to formalities of the UK. All right. Mm-hmm. And thank you, Elaine, for the super sticker. I appreciate your additional support. So this is for you. You're making it rain, 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 rain down on me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So let me keep on going. Was that about Trash Time being your favorite? Y'all crack me up. Gwendolyn, absolutely. VS speaks for early. Some demon hurt Megan's dog. Yeah. My gut tells me a name, but I'm not going to speak it here. Please, we truly don't know. And if they never say, but yeah, we just see the ones that don't have pets. Okay. And would have had access. Let me see. Lydia, Gwendolyn, Daniel, shame they would treat a dog that way. Ooh. You might be on the same track as me, as you said they. We're not going to say names, though. Okay. Let's see. Black Queen, the fools everywhere, nitpicking and freaking out. I'm glad Megan uncovered mock the curtsy. Why would you bow and scrape your own family member behind closed doors? And she was mocking herself. She wasn't even mocking. I also have something else about that. Nobody seemed to be upset about when this one particular family member did something in front of the queen, mind you. So, yeah, I need to hurry up so I can get into trash time because I'm about to start flowing and I don't want to be too disrespectful. Joyce, have you seen the beautiful wedding reception pictures released this morning? Beautiful. Yeah, so thank you, Harry and Meghan, giving us a little bit more tidbit and insight. They've been mocked. I've seen the little tweets and statements about how their informal, reception card or invite. I thought it was sweet. And you can see Meghan all over that because she big formal thing was just not. That was for the royal family. That ceremony and all that pomp and circumstance was royal family. That was not particularly Harry and Meghan. Okay. They had their special ceremony days before. All right, let's go. Sylvia, Mrs. VS, it is very clear, even though the royal family might not speak directly to dispute an issue or give their opinion, that they, royal Rhoda, are that the royal family that are in the media speaking for them every day. Oh yeah, that the Rhoda are their talking mouths or speaking or mouthpieces and PR. That is their PR. Like I said the other day, rest in peace to hashtag palace sources, because that's what they all use. And then they want to say how, well, they vetted stuff. Well, if you vet it, tell who said it, because staff shouldn't be telling anything unless they've been given special permission to brief against Meghan. Okay. Joyce, you will probably see Dory more in the next 3 episodes. I hope so. She could have her own podcast. That's true. Annie, Harry and Meghan's love for each other is off the chain, unbreakable. I'm telling you. What did Tyler say? If he can't have what that they have, he doesn't, he's not settling. Very, very true. I like her birthday twin, Abigail, when she was saying how, Meghan kind of broke the news and they met at Bergdorf's and how they like to have tea and champagne. I like that idea of meeting your friend and going to New York. See, Meghan was doing, how shall I say this, rich girl stuff long before she met Harry. Because I myself wasn't going, oh yes, let me go to Bergdorf's and have tea and champagne with my girls. That wasn't just something we thought of. I'm sure we could have afforded it, but then again, to me that's like rich girl stuff. And traveling and doing all this stuff. But it is amazing that the one friend or castmate that said, leave room, as she was preparing for her hiatus, the summer that she was introduced to Harry, make room for magic. And look what happened. Look what happened. I have seen some cute tweets where people are like, I need my friends to go through their IG feeds and do better by me. So it is too funny to see. Too funny to see. Let's see. Sylvia Little, hello, how are you? I'm okay. Have you decorated for Christmas? Oh, yes, the holiday is coming. What did she respond? A little behind this season. We're doing a smaller tree, going out later to grab one. Oh, that's so sweet. See, Squaddies connecting and doing their thing. Hey, Tier, they are saying Cosplay is about to write a given interview to counteract Meghan and Harry docuseries. Oh, whatever. I said this on Thursday. I think it was Thursday. That if they just remain silent, so that whole protocol that they used to put on Meghan, never complain, never explain, I guess that truly did die with QE2, because what is all this nonsense? I'm not understanding. Where's all the nonsense? And hey, Hilda, I think I saw you in the chat. I'm not sure. Oh, Hattie, 9 months. Thank you. Oh, enough time to birth a child. Thank you for your 9 months. Let's see. Black Queen, glad Meghan called out stiff and stiffer. You tell me they couldn't hug Harry's girl. They are lacking in love. They didn't like Meghan because of her color and they thought they were better. Exactly. We've already seen cosplay cringe several times when it comes down to coming in physical contact with Black people. We've seen it. It's on video. It's been captured or picture, cringing away, not really wanting them to touch her, that whole thing. So it's not some made up thing. Let her. Firstly, I can't wait to see what she says. And yes. Okay, just saying. That's mumbles. Not making fun of anybody with a disability, but that's mumbles. Okay, if you didn't pick up on it. Tanya, how are you? What is sad is these so-called experts act like they know more about Harry than Harry himself. Oh yes, and there's one of those coming up in Trash Time too. Let's see. Let me get to Trash Time since I'm already somewhat in it. I hope I have not missed. All right, charge the eyes, the number of comments to if I've skipped over, because I'm skipping a whole bunch, but I'm going to get to Trash Time so that we can get into it. Let me see, Marjorie. When Meg at W and K, they stick up where the sun don't shine in cosplaying. Before Meg meeting, they had W and Jeans running with Bolt, yet they were cold when they met with Meg. They need to remember there is visuals of them being overly friendly, but of course, W is probably putting on an act anyway. But again, you're the older brother and you're meeting your younger brother, the one that he probably told you that is the one. And as soon as you saw her, and he did say they were pretty surprised he was able to bag her. Harry's not dumb. Harry, what did he say? You can be as late as you want. I'm not moving from here. He wasn't going anywhere. And she was only a few minutes late. She likes to let that be known. A few minutes late. Hello, person one. I see everybody is familiar with person one, so that's a good thing. Let's see. Sherry, I dare cosplay to give an interview, please. Woo, that will be something. Joyce, did anybody notice in all the wedding reception pictures, not one picture with your brother? Didn't see WK in any of the pictures. Well, maybe they made a quick and speedy exit. They couldn't, of course, they could not be seen with, people, regular people who just happen to have a little bit extraordinary lives. So I love Harry for winning. He knew Meghan was the one. Okay. I'll say it again. I probably have it, the screenshot, but I said it Thursday. I tweeted out that Harry's brother, Nacho, Harry told him days after meeting Meghan that he had met the one, and there were no leaks. None. Zilch. But shortly after Meghan is introduced to Space and Cosplay, their PR communications head, who's now over the Space and Cosplays Foundation, who also briefed against Meghan with the Mail on Sunday in that lawsuit, Jason, calls and says this story is going to come out about them dating. It's not coincidence. It's very clear to see. Very clear to see. Connect the dots. All right, let me get into, although I've been officially probably in it since the moment I started. Sylvia, I love when Harry said you can be as late as you want. I'm not going to. Yes, he knew. He was so serious with that. Okay, I'm going to get to it. Let me get over here. Let me get over here. Let me get over here. Let me go over here. You know what time it is. It's your favorite time. Trash time. Trash time. Trash time. Okay, everyone. It is trash time. So, kicking it off, I saw this tweet and I had to laugh. I think I might have shared this on Thursday, but not sure. This was funny because it said, yeah, I'm not even hiding the persons. I think everyone should boycott the Harry and Meghan show on Netflix. What better way to show our royal family? What better way to support our royal family? Well, that went over well. Also, someone else had tweeted, don't know who he is, but the employment minister guy, Opperman, has told BBC QT that Harry and Meghan are utterly irrelevant to this country and said clearly they are a very troubled couple and has urged everyone to boycott Netflix. Well, next day, it was the top program. I have the screenshots from the UK and the US, but I know in other markets it was also number one, that it was number one in the UK and had like the highest ratings. And you're going to see in another screenshot or two. Yeah. How did that boycott work out for y'all? Mm-hmm. Now, I'll say again, if I'm not into the subject matter, I'm not going out to watch something. 3 hours, mind you, of content. Y'all sat there and watched each episode just to kind of pick it apart. Y'all are some crazy SOBs. Okay. Here's Deadline Hollywood. Harry and Meghan's scores Netflix highest UK ratings of the year. Boycott, you say, haters? Boycott? Y'all really need to shut the hell up. Just shut up already. So I want to give everyone who's not familiar, hopefully you'll be watching this more than just listening to it, but here's a visual of what the rota looks like in the UK. Those so-called witnesses and experts. And yeah. Do you notice something they all have in common besides being, pretty ugly to look at? Oh, and it's funny how how StreamYard, where my channel name is set right over a certain Rhoda's face, but it's perfect because he doesn't deserve to have his picture up. But anyway, yeah. This is what these are all the people that have so much to say about Meghan, picking apart every little thing. But they've been briefed. They get the briefs from, the palaces, palace sources. Communications team, I'll just say that. Because who else is going to have permission, explicit permission to talk from their higher ups? Mm-hmm. So now that you see that, and now this person, let me get my mouth together for this. Meghan Markle has probably become the most unpopular figure in Britain today. Her Netflix documentary. Oh, Harry and other people aren't even involved in it? Okay. Is a spectacular own goal, which will further sink her already damaged image in both Great Britain and the United States. Narcissism, spite, and sheer hate do not sell well. That's what the Rota does. And they made a great little penny doing that. But being number one, I would say that her image is really not damaged. And from the different tweets that I'm seeing from people that have admitted that they didn't really have the most favorable view, that after seeing this, their view has changed. So some people who they weren't truly in the deranger bucket, but were probably somewhere just sitting in the outlied region of it. And yeah. But this person, Niall, has issues. Now, this is the kicker right here. We had a comment about people saying that people feeling that they know Harry better than Harry. Well, this one says, and was the chef, I believe, Prince Harry, with respect, sir, your wife will never be similar to your mother. I knew Princess Diana for 15 years, not even close. You think you know Diana better than her own son? Okay. Mm-hmm. Now, we had I'll say curtsy gate. Megan was mocking herself, not knowing, and she's showing you how she was looking. So if everybody's all in a rage, okay. Although, Fergie and I think it was Eugenie said, "Oh, thumbs up, like you did really good." When she first met the Queen, she had no knowledge, and in the car, she's finding out that she's going to meet his grandmother. And then to add the additional layer, it's not like you're meeting just your boyfriend's grandmother. You're meeting the Queen, and thereby we curtsy and bow to her, even behind closed doors. So she's given that whole, I thought this was something that was just done in public. But no, it's something, and she had to learn on the way. Now, those that are so outraged by her visual depiction of the curtsy, which, mind you, she aced her curtsy at the funeral. So you all can shut that up, because you were all given kudos for that. So suddenly now, oh, she's mocking our culture. Curtsying is a culture part of your culture? Because not everybody in the UK curtsies or bows. I'm just going to throw that out there. Okay, so how come this one, married to Zara, can get away with, and he did this in front of the Queen, doing a deep curtsy? That's a mocking, because the men don't generally curtsy. And this was in 2015, just so everybody is clear. But not oh, it's so cute. Isn't it cute? That's cute. Seems to be okay when certain ones who don't have melanin in their pigment. Although, I will throw this out here. There was a clip they showed of a balcony scene where Margaret is on the balcony. I had to do a double take and rewind that because Margaret, you were darker than Megan standing up there. I'm just going to say that. Now y'all can go out and look at it. Okay. Because when I'm trying to do screenshots or clips off of Netflix, they blank the screen. So, yeah, I don't know. They got that thing locked down. Anyway, moving on. This gentleman said, why do people come at Meghan with the notion that she might have pursued Harry because she was a royal, because he was a royal, when that's exactly what Kate Middleton and more specifically her mom did by making sure she was in Williams University? It's always okay for those with matching pigment of the royal family, but never for someone who does not have that pigment. But we already know that it wasn't her who pursued him. I mean, she did call him, which, as she said, it was probably very American and very forward. She did call him after their first meeting and said, I'm going to be leaving town. Let's have dinner together. Now, if you listen to what she said, I told him I had plans. So this particular rotor that keeps running around saying how he had met her, no picture evidence, because this person takes pictures with every person he meets. That he claims he put her in a cab to meet Harry. Now, they met early in the evening. So that rotor better check his story again, because he's been caught up in a lie. They tell on themselves. They really do. And some of us listen and listen again and listen again. Mm-hmm. Megan did that whole, oh yeah, I have plans. Gave him that hour. Okay, everything was cool. Everything. See, that's how you have to do it. Don't sit there and struggle nation through a date if it's not working well. This one happened to work well, but they did cut it off, and she went on about her way and made phone call. I've met the person. So yeah. Anyway, this is the parody account. For those not seeing the visual, it's cosplay's parody account, Kate Middleton. And It said, I got outdone by a dog filter with a mad emoji face. And it shows the picture of her on the runway in that see-through dress, and then the picture of Megan with the Snapchat filter. This was brilliant. Thank you. I'm just going to say, whoever's running the William parody and this one, I hope I get to shake your hand or talk to you one day. Woo! Just too funny. Anyway, Woody Woot has been added, as we know. And Woody Woot told on a couple because of a statement that Harry made that had, I never thought of them. Harry made a blanket comment about the men marrying in the family do so more not out of love, I'm paraphrasing, but out of someone fitting a mold. And yeah, Woody Woot goes on this whole thing about obvious and very cruel dig at William and Kate by Harry. For so many people in the family, especially the men, there can be a temptation or an urge to marry someone who would fit the mold as opposed to someone who you are perhaps destined to be with. It took Space 10 years to figure out that Kate is who he was destined to be with while he was dating other people, and they would get together, break up, living together with roommates, living together and all that other stuff too. What's that, Woody Woot? You keep telling on them. You got to be the first out there to say something, and then you tell on them. They're parodies in themselves. These Rhoda are parody in themselves, trying to make some big to-do out of nothing. Now, if you were analytical in your thought process, you would have immediately jumped to King C3 and the consort, given that King C3 back in the day did admit he was not in love with Diana. What is love? This was at his engagement interview with Diana. What is love? Hello. They ain't talking about them two. He was not talking about them two. Well, maybe not directly. Okay, moving on. Now, the beast from the east. I'm not giving her name. It's on the screen. Where her photoshopped pictures, her profile. But anyway, she says, why is it okay for Megan to mock our culture in this way? Or does racism only work one way? When she is showing what she did, how is that mocking? She said that she didn't know how to curtsy, but then she did what she thought was a curtsy. Everybody said, oh, that was really good. And actually, during the Oprah interview, she said that Eugenie and Sarah were giving her a run through. This is how you do it, kind of showing her. And then they, let her practice. And she went in and nailed it. Let's not forget the Queen gave her a very special gift when she was married and all that stuff. Invited her on the royal train cosplay. Maybe one day you'll get there. Maybe one day. But yeah, okay. It's not trashing the Queen. It ain't trashing the Queen's legacy. Let's not even bring up the Queen who has passed, and King C3 has been silent because he knew better. Don't even open your mouth, sir. And I'm being kind by saying, sir. Here are all the little headlines. Netflix playing the British tabloids with utter brilliance. Page after page of anger, precisely proving Harry and Meghan's point, and all they have to do is copy and paste to the U.S. networks. That's the problem right there. That's the problem. That the U.S. networks and tabloids and news organizations will take what the UK Rhoda are saying and doing and then use that as their talking points. Shame on you. Shame on you, shame on you, shame on you to the US. Anything, networks, media outlets, shame on you. Now, James O'Brien If you all haven't listened to him, you really should. I do not have the clip because I'm not trying to hear it from LBC. Just saying. But he destroyed, and he's British, he destroyed the whole narrative of this curtsy is, like it's treason or something. So um the screenshot of the tweet, James O'Brien has nothing but ridicule for people who think Meghan Markle laughing at curtsying is treason because tradition. And he went in and basically he destroyed it. He said, if you didn't have an issue with Jacob Reed-Moss lying to the Queen in order to do whatever when it came down to Brexit, and that really is treason. But you had nothing to say about that. But then where many Brits even laugh at the thought of curtsying and bowing. Yeah, we Americans don't do that. So you already know that. And what's the problem? Oh, okay. He was just on point. You should go out and look for it. I'll try to remember to, if I can, get a link to it and put it into the description after the live stream ends. Okay. So in rounding out trash time, there was a lot, but sometimes you just have to, yeah. Lorraine King, I think it's fair to say bridges may have been burned, but when those bridges lead to hell, would you want to cross them again? That was such a good question. Her sharing out the UK tabloid, but that's why it's a screenshot. But yeah, we keep saying they're not going back. They're not. Harry and Meghan are not. For visits, yes. To stay, hell no. That should be obviously clear. I love that Harry said she gave up everything in her life. And she had a very good life, people who just want to play dumb. She had a very good life. To be with him by choice. And he, in turn, gave up his life to be with her. Now, I'm paraphrasing, but that is what Harry said. You'll have to watch the docuseries to hear it specifically. Okay, so as I indicated, they dropped a new trailer, Netflix, for the upcoming Volume 2 on December 15th. I guess everyone was so upset over the first trailer being dropped 7 days out, that they decided to do this one 5 days out just to calm everybody's nerves. But we were all living in the lap of luxury. So this is how you do PR. They knew that there is no way we were probably going to drop a trailer for the next volume when we were still absorbing and watching the first. Royal family, leave PR up to the experts. And you can see if you watched, for example, this is how you do things. So a new trailer dropped. I put it out on my community tab, as well as the channel members got a sneak peek at it too. And I am fading black on all my crazy. Let me just scan. Yeah. I'm just going to leave it at that. I'll leave a happy picture. This is the stuff that her other side of the family I love that Meghan said it, and I said it on Thursday. The Rhoda was trying to rev up Doria's side of the family. I'm going to say we, although I'm not fan, but some of you understand what I'm saying. We know how to act. Even when somebody is dangling money in our face, we know how to act. Family first. Crack knuckles, take a sip of tea. And now I'm going to jump into comments. And then round out Sussex Saturday. Woo! 123 comments. Woo! All right, let me come back up. And here I was hoping that they were dancing. I hope there's a little bit more that we see of the reception, but it was so much fun to look like. I want to dance with somebody, but it was 1,000 dances. Who knew? She is an old soul. Megan is an old soul. She has good taste in music too. All right. I'm going to jump. I'm going to scan, and then I'm going to hit the comments. Woo, I am way behind. Catherine, sorry, no shade, but Chelsea never had a chance. Harry had that girl waiting at the airport for him. Oh, and speaking of that, so remember what Megan was saying? Like, oh, he's like this, that a woman having a woman sit and wait on him, and that when he came rushing in and how he was so like flustered that she realized, oh, okay, yeah, no, he truly was late. It wasn't some BS that he's just texting while probably sitting out in the car trying to see how long she's going to wait for him. But yeah. See, Megan would have had her own Uber and gone about her business. Yeah. Woo. And I bet the skank was watching. I took a sip on that one. Come on, keep on rolling, keep on rolling. Netflix stocks went up. Oh, you know what? I'm guessing that's stocks. I do have to say this. Oh, the thought went right out of my head. See, I was getting ready to be bad. Oh, this is it. So you know how we've been seeing some of the rotas saying, oh, the family was not contacted, although the disclaimer at the beginning said that they were given the opportunity to respond and they chose not to. And then they came out and were like, we were never contacted. Netflix came back so quickly that it could have I'm sure it made their head spin. They have receipts. Let alone, thank you to the squaddies who have all been saying this, that if they didn't know about it, how come there were stories about Harry and Meghan doing a reality show on Netflix before we even knew about the docuseries, and that there were stories of them having cameras following them and all that. If you didn't know, royal family, how come your PR team knew and were out there throwing stories out there? Y'all knew. Y'all just chose not to respond. Go back to the never complain, never explain protocol that you all like to just push when it came down to Meghan, because we really don't want to hear from you. Your pretty little pictures or whatever little narrative you tried, everything, like she said, everything you do that she tried to do just wasn't good enough. So yeah. Let me see. That poster needed to be posted on Twitter every day. Woo. Joanne. No, that's okay. Let them talk. The more the lunatics rant, the more people watch Harry and Meghan on Netflix. And there was this awesome tweet. Someone in their college class and sitting behind their classmate who on their laptop, instead of having and listening to the professor, had up the docuseries. It was brilliant. And it's basically squad is everywhere. You just never know who is really going to be tuning in. Yes. Somebody I worked with had put out on Facebook, I've lost count how many times I watched. I'm like, you don't say. Oh my gosh. Yes. Okay. Woo. And they want to have the narrative that they're not liked in the UK or the US. There would have been a time that Meghan would have believed that. She knows better. She knows better now that she's out of, as we call Shutter Island. Okay, Marjorie, Earthshot couldn't even get 500,000 from the UK public who the tabloid loved. Now they are running with dim pregnancy. How little hold of this woman. What? Okay. Let her do what she wants to do. She's going to have to get... See, I almost said something bad. Pegging him doesn't mean that you'll get pregnant. I'll say it that way. Now, please, I'm going to move on. I'm going to move and jump way down into the comment somewhere, catch up to the timing of it. Okay. Oh, C Mac, how you doing? Whew. All right, let me go up to this one, Joan. Let's see. Laugh my ass off. How the crazy dig deep for negative things to say about Meghan and Harry, or just make crap up. Oh yes, and let me see. Did I delete that screenshot by accident? I probably did. It was giving me errors like you have too many. You have over. So there was a headline that. Oh yeah, let me go pull it up and then I can show you. I think it's in this one. That had to be changed. SQUADDIE founded and recognized. Oh well, let me say the Netherlands are ahead of the royal the British royal family, because the king in the Netherlands has already opened an inquiry into their part in the colonization and slavery and all. So, oh, here it is. Here is the headline. Let me bring that in, and then I'll get out of. But it kind of fits into. Oh, there she goes. She's off. And she'd been laying here quietly. All right. So this this headline was. Let me take down Joan's comment if I can find it. Oh, I'll just go here. Then I'll have to go back up. Okay. So this tabloid, DM, Harry and Meghan fails to break list of Netflix top 10 shows in the U.S. in first 24 hours. Of course, this is just a screenshot. Oh, did they have to change that? Take it down quick. See, they were already ready to put out the narrative. Oh, they're doing so bad, and they're doing this, and they're doing that, and blah, 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 blah. Sorry, but the numbers don't lie. In this instance, since it's not the UKers putting the numbers together. Okay. Yeah, Sherry, Meghan said in her own words, they were out to destroy me. Yep. Very, very much so. Let's see. Gloria, did the Queen leave Harry and Meghan anything? You didn't hear much about it. Don't know. Don't really care. I don't know if she did. Did they even read her will? You know, King C3 will suck it all up for himself. Pun intended. Okay. Also for Minnie, I'll just touch on this because it is important to understand how Harry has come a long way. He did admit his wrong for that particular Halloween costume that we never see his brother's costume. And I understand it was worse than that, but you know, Harry had to be the scapegoat in that. That can't be used anymore against him. He's owned it, but he has, he has said, and he knows this, his children are mixed race. He loves that, but he knows that he had to do a whole lot more. And I want to say, you know, friendships with Serena and her husband, because Alex also, or Alexis also had to say that he had to do a lot to learn about the privilege that he walked in just for who he was, a white male. Yeah. What is this? Sash, PBS reported the Earth flop only had 302. I heard it was 302,000. But if it's 302 views, wow. Either way, it's pretty sad. Pretty sad. Mm-hmm. Hi, Glorious Platter. Thank you for your support. Okay, you hear the dogs in the background. My husband came in the house and they're doing their happy dance with him. Oh, he's playing with them with the light. And yeah, you can hear their nails. Marjorie's still trying to hoodwink the UK public. Yeah, they are. But we know better. And as many of us have said, even the OGs, Tina and Michelle, if we don't hear it from them, Harry and Meghan, then, don't believe the hype. So, alrighty. Gwendolyn, Harry was man enough to apologize for his mistake. Yes, he owned it. Went to the community, learned. And obviously, it wasn't something that was like all thought out. He didn't even think about it. He was young. He just didn't think about it. But there are pictures of his grandmother doing the salute. So come on now. When she was a child, did she ever apologize? Okay. Moving along. Too funny. It was only 302 views. They stated that the total, they stated that total several times. Wow. Oh, thanks, Glorious Platter. 308 in the chat. Wow, make me nervous. Let's give the host a thumbs up, please. Even if you're out in the clouds in the space station, you don't like me, okay? Just remember, a thumbs down and a comment is engagement. So thank you in advance, because I know there's going to be some that drop out the sky and just can't in the chat unless you've been, a subscriber for at least 48 hours. It's sad that the positive Sussex platforms have to put on what we call like the troll device or the troll begone stuff. But yeah, kind of crazy. Benjamin, H&M have Star Factor. W and Kate don't outside of England for the most part. I don't even know if they do inside of England. When the daddy's having eggs tossed at him, that they have a lot of work to do. And it is showing up if you're showing up at centers or shelters, don't show up empty-handed. And while bears are nice, let's do a little bit more. Let's do a little bit more, just for the mamas and dads out there trying their best. Okay, Marjorie, you're making me nervous. I see that number there. Gwendolyn, absolute hilarious. No one cares about Baldy. Well, listen, again, for the Earth-ish award, but you didn't have anybody there. You didn't have the winners. You had them zoom in, but you flew out of the country and then flew others in star power. I mean, even Beckham left Qatar to come here, leaving the World Cup, to come to your thing and then fly back. But that's not saving the environment? Okay. Or is that saving the environment because you didn't? C-Mac, those were recycled. But of course they were recycled. There's so much I could say right now. Black Queen, thank you very much. Thank you so much. I have to say, y'all really, wow, thank you. You're making it rain, 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 rain down on me. Thank you so very much. I appreciate it. Yes, a thumbs up is free. And it also helps other people see, oh, I might want to check this out. So even the thumbs down. But I understand those that want to be in the clouds. There's some on the space station, they're sitting, hanging out there while I'm down here doing this. Appreciate you too. If you're out there in the clouds, hello to you. Clueless Kate with the ugly. She matched the green screen, like, that you see that people can put up their visuals. She matched the green. She matched the carpet, actually. Now, that is not a good look at all. You're supposed to be apart, like have different colors so you stand out from the carpet. But then again, maybe she was sending us all a message. If you want to blend in with the carpet that people walk over. Okay. Let me move on. Let me move on. BS Speaks. We call Wilma and Bass Ackwards. Yeah. They're special, all right. Mm-hmm. Gwendolyn Baldy probably went back to his hotel and cried. The energy he puts out is what he gets back. Do you really think? I mean, I saw a picture of cosplay again posted up between some TikTokers who have made a huge career for themselves. I think they're sisters. Stop posing with us if you really don't care for us. Okay. Elaine, what is she saying? Space used his brother as a scapegoat that allowed him freedom to act out and not be criticized. Harry was not loved like William, and this is also part of his pain. Oh, but he is more than loved now, Elaine. And if they think he was going to give that up, they really did think that. Because they tried. Again, creepy part is that someone, all of us have our speculations, but someone texting back to Megan on her father's phone, and she knew it wasn't him just by the response received. And even the response sent to her was a setup. And he was out there just saying, I haven't heard from her, and blah, 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 blah. Oh, the receipts were shown, sir. Yeah, you lie. Nothing that you say. You or the, I helped raise her, and you were never around. But you still caused your daughter pain as a child and then as an adult, because the one event that can't be recreated, she missed out on. Anyway. Hey, Ma Jones, how are you? Annie, the taxpayers in Britain will continue to pay the price for ignorance from the underworlds without a care in the world. Right. And then be mad at, like, they'll go on and on about they live in this palatial home mansion in Montecito and have Hermes blanket. And, I'm going to have trouble heating my home. But you pay for multiple palaces, multiple homes for the royal family, and think nothing of it. They spend millions, and we're not talking a million or two, like near $100 million a year. And you want to worry about a couple who make their own income, don't live off the taxpayers? When the network that she worked on provided security because the royal family wouldn't, I guess it was that rule of, and they lied on this, there's that rule, in quotes, that only a spouse gets the protection. But then once she became a spouse, now we understand why they wanted her to go back to acting, because then the network would have paid for her security. You cheap SOBs. Okay, had to catch my words. But you all have had years to spread your lies and your narratives. And now the record is straight. And as Mama Doria said, how could he? That's your child. How could you? How could you? Alan, thank you so very much. This is for you. You're making it rain, 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 rain down on me. Thank you. Thank you so very much. Excuse me. The last few comments, let me see. Annie, to revere the royals was bred into them for generations. True, still strange. And I think the younger generation in the UK, from what I've seen, different individuals, they don't get the curtsy and the bowing either, but they'll do it. Then they're not royalists, so that's probably why they just, yeah. Elaine, empaths predicted illness for Camilla, and this will cause Charles to step down to care for her. William will dislike C even more when this happens. I'm just going to let that one float. That man ain't giving that thing up for nobody. I don't even think for the consort he would give up the throne. I just am looking forward to May. You who want to whine and cry over people and dates, but then schedule that on your grandson's birthday and you haven't even styled him, you son of a bitch. Okay. Yes, I bring that up because we're watching. I hope they do address that too. Mm-hmm. We have 3 episodes, 3 hours, or maybe more, coming our way, and one never knows, does one? Valerie, how are you? My namesake. What about the fact that they wanted her to go to Mexico to stop her father talking? Yeah, so that then there could have been a potential unfortunate accident. That entire week, like all this time, he'd been ranting and raving on, you know, he was not as bad as his oldest daughter, but still. But to say, right up to that week, it's so obvious they were doing everything in their power to stop the wedding. They thought, oh, she's going to be like, oh, my father's sick, I gotta go. And then be like, well, let's postpone the wedding. Honey, that wasn't getting postponed. Another reason they had their spiritual vows in case somebody did. But it was nice to know that they had put in place, the security had, because of the death threats were so bad, that they had put into place a shoot to kill order if somebody really tried something at the ceremony. So some of y'all, Ma Jones right, VS Speaks Story, wasn't happy that Walrus cashing in on his daughter. I mean, no loving parent would do that. No loving parent would do that, regardless of how much money. Even when, to have the audacity to pull up to her mom and say that, and they knew who she was. And to say that, like, you can make so much money. There's a story. Is his name Rex? I want to say that's his first name, Rex, the actor who had said that was offered like $70,000. And while he could have used that money really, really badly, he just couldn't do that to Megan. He couldn't lie like that. So the stories of the others, we know you took some money. Mm-hmm. Hello, official Lauren Brown. How are you? All right. The two black. Oh, there you go. The two black with the Willie Leaks is Haley and Chloe Bailey. There you go. They were big on TikTok. I just remember seeing them in the different TikTok clips that I would see on Twitter. Tier Charles will never give up the crown, not even for his beloved. He sure won't. I mean, he could have been like, okay, Mom, I'm going to step back. I'm going to give up being heir. Please don't stop. But, okay, because Kuja. Hey, the truck isn't stopping here. Yes. Woo, it's the Amazon truck. Now, January 10th, she can scream and holler all she wants. Yes, because they better stop with my book. Okay. Well, then that was a setup trying to get Megan to go to Mexico. Dangerous place. Yes. Dangerous place. And dangerous, but she even had the sense not to go. She was going to have somebody, they would have sent in a group security to get them out. Probably like the SEAL team to get them out. So, yeah. Elaine, check out the truth about Samantha M. That her own daughter drops in the dock. That family uses Megan. The class from Doria is powerful. They thought it would be that side, Doria's side of the family, that would act out, because then all their headlines, the Straight Outta Compton, all their headlines would have been geared to that. And even as a child, when she was like, I live over a garage, lived in a very beautiful area. And as her mom said, yes, but that afforded, you had a long driveway, you were able to do this and that. Mm-hmm. She had a very good childhood. Yeah, but let's not get it twisted. Her mother was in her life. Some people run with this narrative that I'm not even going to drop here, that she wasn't around and she was doing this and that. No, her mom was there. She went with her dad after school and then on the weekends, just like millions upon millions of other children whose parents are no longer together. Okay. Sash, what on earth is going on there? Is Kuja tearing up the room? She's jumping into the blinds. Like she jumps on the windowsill because that's how her stature to look out. Yeah, and hits the blinds. Sorry for all the ruckus. She's standing under my leg now while she stands by the chair. Let's see. Cookies and Cream. How are you, manager? That docu-series completely blew up the Markles clan's nonsense. They weren't expecting that. No, but most people would be smart like the squad was and wait to see what's in the docu-series. Just like in the book, Winter's Coming, Spare. Yeah. I think they're not even going to be addressed as much as they have been, or the history will be. He's writing his story. Yes, they are, Elaine. The press are paying thousands to the trailer park Markles. They're staging photos and will never stop. They probably will, because many people now see. I mean, I've seen some tweets like, she lied all this time. She said she raised her. And now we know she lied. So, yeah. Again, you don't like someone, but you don't watch 3 hours of a docuseries that features the people that you don't like? Okay. Sherry, the audacity of the leftovers to plot the negative press of TM and then use those same negative press against her. The leftovers are diabolical. They really are. But oh, karma, sweet, sweet, justified karma. Mm-hmm. Anything they say or do, I look at side eye. Because we now know. Okay. Oh, goodness. Now, mind you, that's my husband leaving. And they know his truck. Okay. All right, Black Queen. Cookies and Cream, they are running around like headless chickens. Oh, goodness. Go throw them some feed. They are like barn animals, I must say. They're behaving like barn animals over there. Someone who mocks herself, or not even mocking herself, she's showing you how not knowing, as an American, not knowing how to curtsy, and this is what I did. Oh, look at Harry's face. He's embarrassed and blah, blah, blah. He's probably embarrassed because, yeah, he even said it out of his mouth. Yeah, it is kind of much. I mean, I'm paraphrasing, but he did say, and if you watch, you would know that. So, Joan, did Space and Cosplay leave? Oh, they've been gone. They left days. They left when was their Earthshot thing? On a Friday? And while the papers were complaining and doing all this other stuff, and blah, 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 they were back on a plane. They weren't staying. You thought they were going to stay here longer? For what? Especially when the spotlight shifted quickly when they were, you were almost sharing the same airspace in a sense. Harry and Meghan in New York, you're in Boston. Marsha, how are you? Scammy got what she deserved and being called out by her daughter Ashley. This was Ashley's own revenge against an abusive birth mother. True. And then there's a clip of the youngest daughter with the grandmother because that's not Ashley. Also explaining what she went through. So, yeah. Woo. Cookies and Cream at Black Queen. Yes, they most certainly are, and I just love it. Yeah, I love it for them too. Valerie, the Markles clan are complaining to PM. Oh, PM's gonna get it too, because Meghan has receipts. You claim you DM'd her? Show it. Show the DMs. PM, you never have. Show the picture, because you take pictures with every celebrity that you meet. Yeah. She kind of made show that you lied and that you put her in a cab to go meet Harry. Because they met much earlier in the evening, sir. Whew. Okay, C-Mac. Yes, Space and Cosplay left the same night. They knew better. Get the hell out of Dodge. Nobody wants you here. Annie, no one cares about Fat Marco Blobfish and his racist clan. I mean, they played their hand. And there's no taking it back. There's no taking it back. And I love that. Margaret, how are you? I hope you're well. One of the UK media had SM on. You should have heard what she said, and she did not stop. She can say whatever. Again, she's UK media. I think the US media like CBS and such would want to be mindful, not having her on there and just skipping over her. You know, she's the ... piece in anybody's narrative. So she's going to be going on and on and on. I'm sorry, but you have been shown to be a liar. Made up. They even had the titles, the pushy prince, the Princess Pushy, and all this other stuff. You never called her that. And to be your age and to be so jealous, but as many of us have put together, because she had the successful career in Hollywood that you wanted. And daddy couldn't even open the doors for you, nor could you open doors with your slinging yourself all over town, in a sense, allegedly. So you're upset that your sister, who maintained her morals, and eventually her hard work led to her getting the Suits character, and the rest is history. You're going to try to take credit for the TIG too? Please. Now, I'll end on this. If you don't realize how much Harry loves his wife and that there is some guilt that he feels, more so than the abuse that she was getting from the media and the family, is that he said, I'm going to probably paraphrase a little bit, but to this point, she had her father before she met me. And once it was known she was with me, she no longer had her father. And it's not because of anything he did, it's the actions of her father. You don't get to sell out your child to the media and only want to try to meet her children so that you can then sell those pictures and have photogs hanging out in all parts of the yard. That was scary enough to hear their voices when they had receipts of the paps in the water on boats in Canada when King C3 had lifted their security and leaked where they were. And where those photogs were is too closer than they would have gotten if security was in place. So it's scary, the thought of what you probably intended to happen. F you and the thoughts that you had on having a Diana 2.0. You'll get more rage from people than you will get sympathy. And I'll be damned if you're going to try to walk behind somebody's casket and garner, oh, look at the pathetic and the, well, you are pathetic, but the so sad father. No, you won't have that at all. Not at all. So, all right. On that note, I want to thank you all for joining. I hope that you enjoyed your time here. I hope Trash Time was all that it was meant to be. Please, if you haven't seen the docuseries, what are you waiting for? hurry up and watch volume 1, episodes 1, 2, and 3 before the 15th, and 4, 5, and 6, unless you like to binge. But I've been binging since Thursday. So anyway, please be safe out there. Please wear your mask. Thank you, thank you, thank you again for the time that you spent here. You have hopefully there's a half hour to an hour before Baron starts so that you have time to get your snacks on. Take care, everybody. I do apologize. I couldn't go through all the comments, but I've seen you. I thank you. Be well. Take care. Bye.